Hi everyone, this is Cheyney and this is my final project for DTL 6020. This is a page that I created for my computer applications class, and this is just an introduction page really. This is what we cover in this course. These are some tutorials that they can go to in case they forgot the basics, the computers. Most of the kids learned this basic Google commands in junior high, but not all of them. So I have to cover all this material at the high school level. Anyway, my final project is on this lesson 3.1. Okay, this one particular lesson. I started this whole website in the Universal Design class, and you can see how it's laid out. I tried to keep it pretty simple. I have a lot of white area around here. I have the contrast with the black text against the white background. You know, I think it looks a little boring sometimes, but it's easier for kids with dyslexia. It's easier for everyone to read like that. It's not real busy, not a lot of bells and whistles. I added text to pictures. Also learned that from Universal Design. And anyway, up here to increase student engagement, to get started, I had this where they can decide what field trip we should go on, because that's the whole lesson. Anyway, this directs us to a Flipgrid. And if you're not familiar with Flipgrid, you can pose a question here, and then the students can answer it with a video. I'll show you quickly how it works. Okay, and this is how it works. So they can record their answer, and then when they're done, here it is. So they can say, I want to go to Disney World. And then they can say that. So they can say, I want to go to Disney World. And so they can say, I want to go to Disney. Anyway, I don't want to keep messing with that. And then what happens is all their individual videos will come up and see where they want to go. Okay. Let's get out of there. Here's my objectives for this lesson. This is, like I said, the basics of Google Sheets. Is what we're going to go over. So how to access them, how to create name a spreadsheet, resize a column, insert a column, etc. So the objectives are clear. They're stated up at the top. This is their hypothetical job here. They're a student council, and they are to come up with a trip and basically sell to the principal. Okay, down here, this website is actually supplemental to me teaching in the classroom. However, if a student is absent because of illness or suspension or field trip or whatever, they can actually do this from home, and there's enough information here that they should be able to do the lesson without me. So I don't know how that goes for job security, but they can follow the instructions on the handout. They can follow me as I give instructions on the smartboard, or if they just want to go ahead and get started, they can watch the videos. This is what the final project is going to look like when they're done. I wanted to give an example. I made up a bunch of videos. I did a screencast. Here's the first one that I did, but I put it at the bottom. I'll explain why. This is of the entire lesson. This is one straight video from beginning to end that a student can watch. They can put it side by side with their spreadsheet. But it's long for a lot of students, and they can stop and start, you know, if they want to rewind to a certain point. But what I did is I took each one of these objectives up here, and I broke them down into separate videos. So, for example, this one here, how to resize a column. And I put these in order. I numbered them in order. Hopefully that'll make sense to them. But if they know how to do this and they know how to do this, but they wanted to know how to resize a column, they can just pick on this. Okay, now that we've set up the spreadsheet. Okay, so if they just need one thing at a time, one skill at a time that they want to learn, or they just need to do one section at a time. This is nice to break it down into chunks. And they get a sense of accomplishment when they do each one. It's not overwhelming to them. Okay. So once they finish this particular project, they would go on to other lessons up here. I didn't get as involved with these yet. I would like to by the end of the year, hopefully have a lot of lessons up. I don't want to put too much work into this yet until I actually try this on the students, and I can work out the bugs and see if they like it. Down here, there's an assessment where there's individual questions back in this Flip My Grid, and I thought maybe they would get a little competitive with this, so that might be fun. I already showed you how that works. And so there's different flip grids for different questions. To rate themselves how they did on this, not just this lesson, but this is a generic one for each class. They can go here to the X ticket. This is what it'll look like to them. I created this in Google Forms. And they can just see more time to work on it or whatever. You can see some of the questions that I have. For example, I can change the type of font. So if they feel that they can do that, maybe they can't center fonts and numbers. So they would rate themselves there. And then I get immediate feedback from that in the form of bar charts, or I can get it on an Excel spreadsheet. So that's real nice too. I can have immediate feedback at the end of the class so the students can tell me how they made out. Let's go back to the lesson page. I also have my email at the bottom. I require all students to send me an email at the end of every single class. So that's there. And then here I have the, this is really for me, not for the kids. If they say it's no big deal. But I have my instructional plan or my lesson plan really spelled out here. So it's good, like, when I sit down to do a lesson, just to give a quick look at that. And I know where it is all the time, so I don't have to go looking for it. Real quick, just for fun, when they get done, we can play Kahoot. We have to play that in real time, but it's a fun game if you haven't tried it. They compete against each other to get the answers quicker. And they could even play from home if the game comes up on a screen. Then here I just have, for example, Technology Hangman. They can play. These are Kia if you're familiar with Kia. Here's a little quiz that there's no pressure. They can just take the quiz and get immediate feedback on whether they have the right answer or not. Of course, I picked the wrong one. And then Sky Chase is a keyboarding game that they can also play against each other in class. They all log on to the same game. It's a lot of fun. And there's a little bit about me on the last page, so they know who they're dealing with. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so back to the lesson. If anybody has any questions about anything or any of the stuff from the games, or like I said, I did screencasts, uploaded to YouTube, and then embedded it into Google Sites. I know I'm talking fast, but I'm trying to get all the information in. I'm looking forward to some constructive criticism, or if you find links that aren't working properly, please let me know. Okay, good luck, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing your projects.